This episode, you find us at beautiful Broome, where we're spending some time relaxing following our big adventure on the Gib. We'll show you around town, plus the free camps that we loved in Broome's surrounds, including James Price Point and Quondong Point. Then we track down the coast, head to 80 Mile and start hitting the kilometres hard en route to one of our favourite spots, Exmouth. Surprise, surprise, back at Cable Beach. We have been at Cable Beach every single day since we got here. We've been in Broome a week now. This will be our 7th night. And honestly, I could spend another 2 weeks here. It's so beautiful. We come to Cable Beach mostly because you can bring the ute down here. As I said previously, you just turn right rather than going left to where you just walk down. It's also the sunset spot, so if you've been here, you would have seen the camel rides, and it's just, you know, iconic Broome to be here. It's really nice, like, camaraderie feeling. Everyone's down here with their vehicles, with their chairs, having a beverage, a cheese board. Something to note as well, I was just checking behind me to make sure I didn't video anyone, because this is actually not officially, but it's known as a nude beach. So up before you turn down, there's a sign at that beach that says no nudity. And so I read online that this isn't actually classed as like a legal nude beach, but it's just kind of like known to be, because it's almost like there's a sign saying no nudity there, but there's no sign saying no nudity here. So people have taken that as, well, you can be nude. But I just wanted to make sure I wasn't videoing anyone behind me, because there are some naked people just there enjoying the day and getting no tan lines.
I made a fatal error because, well, I didn't listen to you. That was probably first and foremost my error. But I hosed all the salt spray off and stuff, and then we came here just after high tide and just sprayed the ute with more salt. So the ute's getting 2 baths today.
When you're done lounging at Cable Beach, check out some of the hot spots around Broome. For example, this bright red-orange track will take you on a scenic drive to Roebuck Bay, one of Broome's most beautiful natural attractions. We've just pulled up at Roebuck Bay, and oh my god, this is the bluest water I have seen since the Whitsundays. And I don't know if it's just the contrast of the orange and the blue, but this place is stunning. It's amazing coming to places like this and realizing that there are natural colors. Like there's pink, orange, red, and like 5 different shades of blue in the water, and it's so special to be here looking at it with the naked eye. During the cooler months, you'll want to head here to witness the staircase to the moon. It's a natural phenomenon created by the rising of a full moon reflecting off the tidal flats of Roebuck Bay. Next up is Simpson Beach, tucked away near the Broome port on Roebuck Bay. Who can resist this amazing view of contrasting colours? Followed by Coconut Well, a rocky limestone outcrop on the beach which is exposed at low tide. Here you'll discover loads of tiny rock pools just big enough to swim in. We are on our way to James Price Point. We've just hit the dirt, so we've stopped here to air down the tyres. It is a big effort because there's obviously, what do we have, 8 tyres. What are we airing down to?
25 for this stuff, and then when we get to, because you want to go on the beach, don't you? So when we get there, we'll assess and see if we're going to take some more air out. Excuse me, that was the tyre deflator, not me.
That sounds like what someone who farted and blamed it on a tyre deflator would say.
Now, the astute viewers will see something quite new. Not that you should be looking here, guys, but...
And it's not my beautiful hand brace. We're talking about my beautiful new pearl necklace. That saying has ruined pearl necklaces. I just want to say it's such a luxurious, beautiful item, and you know, Broome has amazing pearling history, and let's just not. So we have made it to the beautiful James Price Point, and it has certainly lived up to all the beautiful photos I've seen on Instagram of the red cliffs behind me and of course the beautiful ocean over this way. So if you're a bit confused when you get here like we were, there's 2 points on Wiki Camps if you're following that map. You can camp on top of the cliffs and just look down at the ocean, or if you want to come down here and be amongst the cliffs, there is a little ramp. It looks a bit dodgy upon appearance, but it was pretty okay getting down. I think getting up will be a different story, but you just head down there, and then there's so many, well, at the moment, I don't know if this is still considered non-peak season.
Oh, we're out of peak season. This place would be packed at peak season.
Yeah, we've been so lucky because, yeah, I mean, obviously we had the Gib where we weren't in peak season, Litchfield weren't in peak season, and we've just had kind of like the best pick of spots. And yeah, I was honestly like, we got here at 2 p.m. and I was expecting a few more setups, but there's one caravan over there, so we've made sure to set up far away from him.
Yeah, because we're respectful campers. That entry being a little bit hair-raising, it's one of those things where it just doesn't look bad on camera, but it is bad in real life in terms of steepness. So we were first gear, low range, really nice torque converter lockup in the Ranger, so that helped a lot, and then a bit of dabber trailer brakes. Coming down is easy. The problem is going up because gravity sucks, and literally, so we're gonna have to hit it with a bit of gusto. I'm looking over at it now. We're gonna have to hit it with a little bit of gusto. The problem is we got one really big sort of embankment on one side and then a washout on a left-hand side, and it's deep. So we're gonna have to hit it hard and fast just to get the momentum to go up. We have just picked up some more recovery boards though, because we're obviously four-wheel drive, and we've only been running with one set before because we're twin locked in this Ranger. So we've got 4 boards just in case we need them. That's really more for sand, but I'm actually thinking we might pack the washout with the recovery boards, make a bit of a bridge. I'm gonna try not to hit it, but if we do hit it, I want something there to take a bit of sway out of the van. So that's what we're going to do. The only other thing is that once we get right at the top, we're going to make a sharp right hand turn and we will have a bit of speed on us. So it'll be interesting.
Good morning. It is day 2 at James Price Point. People were not joking when they said that the sunsets here are on point. It's one of the most beautiful sunsets I think that you can see, because obviously we have these beautiful red rocks behind us which the sun is reflecting off, making them even redder, and then we have this beautiful ocean here. We weren't sure, we thought there was one other person here and that we didn't have the whole place to ourselves, but it's actually just like an empty caravan. So I don't know if they've set off to go somewhere else just in their 4-wheel drive, but amazingly we have the whole place to ourselves. There's some people coming down like day tripping this morning, but now everyone's gone and we've got it again, which just makes for great drone footage. But yeah, amazing that a free camp as beautiful as this would be so empty, and today is Saturday, so no work for me today. I'm gonna chill out, read my book, just relax. Just awesome, maybe edit some content for you guys. But yeah, world's my oyster. Josh is inside the van at the moment writing some articles. He's doing work. Don't know why he chooses to work on the weekend when I'm not working, but that's freelancers for you. But yeah, if you don't want your van or your clothes or whatever to get dirty, probably don't come here. The dirt is very, very orange. It's giving Cheetos, like you got Cheeto feet after you walk on it. So we are doing our best to not bring any red dirt into the van because I don't want to stain our beautiful floors. But I'll show you like our attempt at keeping things clean. Good morning everyone. We are moving on today, heading to Quondong Point. There are 2 places that you can camp indicated on Wiki Camps, Quondong and South Quondong. Just looking at the pictures and other people's reviews, I'm thinking that South Quondong might be a little more van friendly, but Quondong is along the way. It's such a funny word, and if I'm saying it wrong, I'm sure you guys will correct me in the comments, but it's on the way, so we'll check that one out first. Maybe if it looks a bit tight, we'll head to the other one. But yeah, I mean, normally you would think that there were going to be a lot of people there and we'd have to rush there, but given that it's empty here, like still there's that one caravan over there. The car is back now, so I don't know what the go with that is, but they seem to be coming and going but not really staying here. Other than them, we're the only ones here, so not really concerned that we're not going to get a spot, but I guess you never know, maybe it's a little bit more popular than James' price point, though I do doubt it. I'm a little bit nervous for the departure. As we said when we got here, there's some washouts, and although we got down well, Josh is going to have to really, you know, hit the accelerator to get up the ramp, but I think we'll lay down those recovery boards to bridge the gap. But yeah, always feel a little bit sick when we're going to do something like that, but I guess that's all part of the adventure, and that's the price you pay sometimes for a beautiful location like this. I don't know if I said it yesterday, but just waking up to the sound of the ocean is so nice. I really think it sets your day up so differently. I just feel like calm immediately in the morning. Yeah, just something about looking at the ocean. I think there's scientific studies about how it's good for your mental health, looking at the water and being around the ocean, but it also just makes me feel a little bit more home. Like, I love the bush and the outback and, you know, the very different conditions, but because I am from the beach, you know, being on the east coast and then living right on the beach in Cronulla, it does just make me feel a little bit more like I'm back home. And not that I'm feeling homesick yet, like it's only been 3 months. I do miss my family and friends, but I'm not like feeling the homesickness. It just kind of brings a little bit of home, bit of comfort back to the road. So these are the big washouts that we were talking about. Obviously don't really want to get stuck in this, so Josh is bringing up our brand new red recovery boards. You can't miss them, and I'm heading to the top with a UHF so I can just double check. Oh, I just fell in a hole. Double check there's no traffic coming while we make our way up.
Now, can I just point something out before one of you guys do? The astute viewer will see that these are brand new and still cable tied together. I don't really care, but I don't need them to be separated, so I'm just going to leave cable ties on. It's not bridging much of a gap.
No, it didn't make that much of a difference. Well, that should help.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I'm not worried about using this for traction. I just want to take a bump out of it.
Yeah. Alright.
Just gonna hug the right, crawl up.
Yep.
Can you just let me know if there's any traffic coming around that corner?
Yeah. Right, so I'm assuming my position up top, I don't think there's going to be any traffic. Would be really bad luck if there was, because bloody no one has been here the last 3 days. And Murphy's Law, when you need no one here, there will be, but no, we'll be right. I'm a bit nervous, but I don't know, Josh reckons that these are the things that kind of like look worse than they are. And on the GoPro, it definitely doesn't look as steep as it is. Not that it's anything crazy, like we've definitely done steep hills, but yeah, if it wasn't that washout, it would be a piece of cake. But yeah, the washout makes me a bit nervous, so hopefully the recovery board helps bridge a bit of that. That is so funny. He didn't even go over the recovery board. You didn't even go on the recovery board.
Yeah, I was hoping. The plan was to not go near them.
Oh.
They were just there in case we went near them. But that is the power of lots of torque and diff locks.
That looks quite easy.
Yeah, this is the thing. You look at something on a GoPro and you're like, oh, it's nothing to worry about. But it's a crappy hill. Oh, I love this Ranger. Diff locks off. Oh, two-wheel drive, diff locks off.
Feeling better?
Yeah. Now everyone's just gonna think we're silly. I promise you. You go back and you look at that a year ago. It's like this flat like better than a boat ramp. That was crap, alright? I promise, just take my word for it.
It's not silly to be precautious anyway.
Yeah, not when you... Well, see, because the thing is,
Not when you
right,
got a house on the back.
yeah, it's our home, but the other thing is, if gravity pulled us backwards, it's just gonna... We're being pulled backwards, so there's not much chance to correct any or do any sort of reversing manoeuvres. It's gonna jackknife into the wall.
Right behind.
Yeah, and there was a bloke right behind.
To hit their caravan in their car.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't go that far back. It would have jackknifed and stopped itself before that. And if you're touring anywhere hot, you'll know sweat rags after off-roading, essential.
Welcome to South Quondong. We made it. We are on another primo spot right on the water, as you can see. Great view. Got the awning out, windows open, Josh is chilling. Do you want to tell us about these new straps we got?
Yeah, straps is the word. I've got no idea what you'd actually call them. There's probably a name for them, but they work bloody well. They're keeping the awning from blowing up because we've got an onshore breeze at the moment, which is glorious.
Yeah, so it is pretty windy, as you can see, but it keeps the heat down, so definitely not complaining. Looks really beautiful in the water, but again, bit of shark territory here. The water's like not monitored or anything, and we looked it up and there's been a few like tiger shark attacks. Pretty hot, and it looks so nice out there. I want to get the drone up and have a bigger look, but because it's so windy, I'm just worried it's going to be like sucked into the ocean or something. For dinner we've got some lamb, onion and mushrooms on the barbie, so that's cooking away, and the plan is we're going to have lamb wraps. We've got some wraps, tzatziki and spinach inside, and just enjoying the beautiful view right now.
Welcome to a cracking morning at 80 Mile Beach Caravan Park. We're about to go take the ranger for a little stretch of the legs on the sand. Might get bogged, might go for a swim, might get eaten by a shark. Anything could happen. Today, the world is our oyster.
The big dogs are already aired down, so we have the best chance of not getting bogged.
I'm the best chance of not getting bogged.
Isn't your nickname on the show Bogger?
It's a miscommunication. People take that out of context.
Apparently Bogger is not a nickname for getting bogged.
How's that for a fishing setup? Like, just tows that thing down to the beach, reverses back, and then sits there all day and catches a feed. Some people are just living life. I judged that perfectly. Definitely on purpose.
at the moment we are on the lookout for turtles because they are currently nesting. If you walk along the beach, you'll see the turtle tracks and the holes that they dig to lay their eggs in.
What are they called? Turtle nests.
Turtle nests.
Yeah.
So apparently they come up on the beach at high tide, and at the moment it's very, very low tide, so maybe more toward like 10:30 tonight we'll come out with a torch and hopefully you can see some.
Yeah, and I can't remember where you're meant to stand, so we're just going to stay. There's like a viewing platform here, so we'll just stay up here, I guess, and shine a light down or something.
Well, the lady at reception said if you see them, just keep a distance. She didn't specify, but obviously you don't want to scare them off and stop them from doing what they're doing, which is a very important process of turtle breeding. The most important.
Well, yeah.
It is super windy today, but it's our last day here, so we've come down to the beach. I don't even know if this audio will be audible.
After 80 Mile, it was time to hit the road and begin our big journey to Exmouth, stopping in on the way briefly at Port Hedland and Karratha.
It has been ridiculously hot today. We're pulled up in Karratha. There's a big hot run down the coast to get here. And I just thought I'd do some vehicle checks while we're holed up here for a couple of days. I usually do them before we leave as pre-departures, but I just thought, hey, I'll knock it on the head now. And I'm really glad that I did. You always find something with these things, especially when you're asking a whole lot from your tow rigs. Like, towing is just something that vehicles really, like, even if they're designed to do it. I mean, imagine how you'd feel lugging a big heavy thing on really hot days everywhere at 100 k's an hour, or, well, in my case, more like 95. With this sort of heat. So to combat the heat, some tips that I have that you may not have heard of. Generally, I run this thing in 5th gear at around 2000 RPM and we cruise at around 100. So when it gets really hot, I drop it down to 4th gear and that boosts the revs, which sounds counterintuitive, but hear me out. What's happening is then you're spinning that coolant around the motor even faster. The water pump is going harder and harder, which means there's more coolant cycling through and it doesn't have as much of a chance to heat up through the engine components. And that's something you can do that'll really help alleviate around 10 degrees off your engine coolant temperatures. Though, just to prove it, even though we got nowhere really even hot today, didn't go above 100 in the engine coolant, I keep a good eye on it, I still did notice this on the top hose. You can see that it started to push back. It wasn't really too much further and we would have lost that top hose just from a bit of pressure build up in there. So I'll fix that now, but that is seriously why you just do your checks. You'll always find something, and prevention is better than cure 100% of the time. So just get under there and have a look. Audio, visual, you know what your car is meant to look like, you know what it's supposed to sound like. So just get in there, check it, because I would so much rather be fixing this here when I can walk into my air-conditioned caravan over there than on the side of the road in 46-degree heat. That's how hot it is today. So I'm gonna get cracking on that, got the tools out, and then I'll check oil, do all the rest of the stuff, and probably have a beer. We were cannonballing it to Exmouth. That makes it sound like we're going really fast. We're doing 90 kilometers an hour, but we just had a blowout in this one. I've never done a trip where I've had so many flat tires, but this one is the first flat tire this ute has ever had running these tires, and I've done well over 50,000 k's, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna get this changed. It's 46 degrees currently. It's absolutely bloody boiling. Put Jess under the awning, cue the music, swap this out, and then we've got another 450 k's or something to go. So there better not be another flat tire because we're about to use our last spare.
An hour and a half later, and very hot and red-faced, we are about to head back onto the road. Just want to say, really bad display of Australian spirit. Every time we ever see someone pulled over, whether they're changing a tyre or whether they're just pulled over, we always stop to ask, if they're okay, and only one vehicle stopped to ask if we're okay, and it was a truck driver. So
yeah, legends that pull up a bloody road train, but everyone else can't even be bothered to slow down and move over. I don't think people realise, like, this is dangerous stuff, and if somebody stopped on the side of the road and you smack them, well, enjoy your culpable driving charge, because honestly, you bloody deserve it.
but yeah, I mean, just personally, I think, you know, it's just un-Australian.
Says the American.
Stay tuned for the next episode where we reach beautiful Exmouth, head on some fishing adventures and live life the way it should be done, on the beach.